Okay. All right, guys. Hey, I'm back here. Continuing updating the videos on my 98 Eclipse. Why it doesn't start after I left it. On vacation, left it parking here at my house for like over a week and not starting up. And it's not starting when it gets back home. Try to start it several times, a lot of time, and it still won't start. And I've been diagnostic, you know, pretty much, I'm starting to diagnose just pretty much about the battery and the fuse, and kind of look over the starter. But I haven't really diagnosed a lot, much more, like I said. Like I need to diagnose like overall everything before I even give up or bring it to the shop or consider buying me a new starter. But I did kind of bang the starter a little bit when I was trying to see right there the starter, when I was trying to start up. So, before I have the same problem, I had to bang the starter a little bit with the hammer, just tap it. But the AutoZone guy, he told me don't do that. That's kind of like an old school way. But, before people do it too, I mean, he was trying to scare me by saying, if you tap the starter and the cylinder or whatever inside there, it has like a thin layer of um, copper or whatever, and it might mess up my starter. But it's just a little tap. It's not like I'm banging hard or whatever. I don't think that does matter because before when I tapped the starter, like a long time ago, like last couple of months, because my car was acting up too, it's not trying to start. So I banged the starter a little bit right there, and it starts up when I start it up. So I mean, it starts up after I banged it. So I don't know why, he says that he's trying to scare me by not doing it so I can like buy a new starter or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you why he's saying that too so I can buy a new starter. I brought in the battery to check, even though my battery I bought it like last year and it's not brand new. But I took the battery out. I went to AutoZone yesterday, and he checked it, and he said it was 80% good. But I don't know if he lies or not because I didn't see it when he checked. Like he just said 80% when he looked at the machine thing, but I forgot to look at it too. They could be lying. You never know. People out there they can lie just to make a sale. And this is what I think. I think that he lied or he just wanted me to buy a new starter to start with because I was talking about like I probably might need a new starter because my starter relay inside the car was clicking, so that means the relay is good, but the starter might go out. I don't know. That I was guessing it's the starter, but it could be any issue up to this point right now because I just got my battery checked it. Because at first he said, it probably the battery. So I bought the battery to him and he checked it. It's 80%. He said the battery is good, so it's got to be a starter. And I was thinking it's the starter at the beginning too, because my battery was good. Like all the lights and all that was good when I turned on. It's just that it won't want to cranked up. Like I can hear the fuel line. I can hear the fuel line like pumping back to my to the to the gas tank. So I hear that fuel lines, inside my car, and all the lights comes on and everything, but it just won't turn over or cranked up. But when I turn the key, I hear the the starter relay inside my car is clicking. So obviously the starter relay is good, but I'm not sure about the starter itself. The starter might die, at this point. And it could be any other reason too why it's not starting because I left it for like over a week, and to what I'm guessing, and I'm gonna diagnose and do whatever I can just to save some money before I have to bring it to the shop or have a real mechanic look over or whatever like that to save some of my money, to save some money. So here's what the things I will do. Here's what the thing that I will do before I spend any more money getting a brand new starter, and a brand new starter will cost me like over $100, which I don't want to, spend if I don't have to. And then it might be the alternator. So I don't know. I'm not trying to go into all that. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Like the cheapest thing I can do is right now at this point is uh, my car, it has low gas, so I only have like a half a notch in my gas tank. So that's about 2, 3, 4 gallons at the most. Let me see. So I'm gonna show you guys how much gas I have. So it could be that I have low gas. See that? It's almost empty. It's like a half notch left. But the guy at AutoZone say it couldn't be the gas, because if I have some gas in the car, it will start up. Even though if I don't have enough gas, it was still gonna start up, and which just makes sense too. But you never know, because look what happened. People don't realize that my car is parked on a hill, in a parking driveway, but it's like on a hill. It's slightly going down like this. So the upper of my hood car, the engine is facing upward, and the gas tank is back here. You see? Actually, the gas tank is on this side, but you know what I mean. The gas tank is back here. I just had to lift it up, and I'm gonna show you why I did it. Okay? So it's just like this Camry right here. It's on a hill, so slightly, going down like this, and the engine is facing up. So the gas tank is like going downward. You see, all the gas is going downward. There's no gas going upward to the engine, because there's gas line, fuse line that goes up to the engine, and if there's no gas going up to the engine, or any gas fume, which makes it really hard to start up anyway. So I was thinking that because of my car was parking downward like that, that's why it didn't have any gas feed up to the engine. The gas line is not. So if my gas tank is empty, all the gas is in the gas tank back here. So the gas line doesn't have any gas, because all the gas is pumping downward. You see what I mean? So it makes me think that I have low gas. That's why it won't start too. That's another thing. And that is why. Let me talk. Let me talk about that secondly. But another thing I want to talk about is the battery check. Okay, you can check the battery at home by yourself using a multimeter like this. Set it to battery and check it. But that's not accuracy. Okay, you can check your battery at home like that, but that's not accuracy. The most accuracy to check the battery is while the car is running. Okay, when the car is not running, like my car, it's really hard to check the battery. I mean, you're probably not gonna test the battery with the multimeter while the car is not running, and it's probably not gonna read 12 volt or more than 12 volt. Okay, it might read less or whatever. It just might not read right. Okay, because the engine is not running. So the right the right thing to check the battery the car's battery, see if it's good or not, is by having the car to run, and have the multimeter, or have it run, bring it into the auto plays or auto zone, and have them check it with their machine system or whatever. That's the most accuracy way to check the car battery, okay, while the car is running. Okay, so I was trying to do that at home with the multimeter, but I did it before too, which I did it when the car was running. That's why when I did it before, like long time ago, it reads up to like 12 point something volt, or even 13 volt. That's right, because the car was running. But now the car is not running. I can tell, by me doing this test, it's just useless. Okay, it's useless, guys. I mean, it's just not going to be accuracy. So the best way is to check the. I guess you can't really tell if the battery good or not, even though if I bring this battery into AutoZone and they checked it with their machine system or whatever, the little system, that's probably not going to be right too, because the battery has been out of the car. And the only way to check it when you bring it to AutoZone is have them like put in the charger, and see if it's taking a charge or so. But most of the time when they say it's 80%, they it's 80%, but you don't know if they lie or not. So you really have to look into that little machine if it's really say 80%, because some people will lie. Okay, some of them, they will lie just to make a sale. Okay, I'm not saying anybody from wherever, AutoZone, whatever, but it could be anyone working that they needs to make sales. so they'll tell you a lie so you can buy something else. You know, that's what I was thinking. I thought, I'm thinking that he lies about my battery is good, so I don't need to get a new battery, but my starter is dying. So, he want me to buy a starter, that's why he said the battery is good. But who knows? I don't know. At this point, my car could be, into any problem, So some of you guys out there might say, this is a piece of junk now, after the rebuild. But hey, it's a piece of junk, but what if I got it run? Not anymore, right? So you guys can say whatever you want to say, I'm a mechanic or whoever the mechanic out there, they know what they're doing. They fix it up and they ride it up, and boom, you know, you can't say anything after that. But anyway, people can say whatever they want to say, but as long as you don't, worry about what they say, you're good. Just do what you're doing. Like what I'm supposed to do here is keep on diagnosing and check on things to get this car engine running up again, back again. Is so anyway, right now, several things I need to do is checking the battery is going to be offhand. I'm going to have to bring this battery back to the place, the battery store where I bought it. And, it's the weekend and they're not going to work this weekend uh, for like today because I'm busy for the past day or two. I couldn't take it to the battery. I took it to the AutoZone yesterday because I had some time, but like it's the weekend. That battery store is not open until Monday and they close really early. They close around 4 o'clock. So I have to bring this battery back to the battery store to have them check or charge it, whatever, so I can have a good battery again. I mean, I can even buy, put $40 to get a good battery again and try to install and see if it works. Hopefully it works. If not, I'm screwed because of it might be the starter problem. This starter is old, okay, guys. It's when I rebuilt the engine, I didn't change a lot of things. I didn't replace a lot of things. Like I didn't replace the old starter here, so that's the old starter. I didn't replace the alternator, so that's the old alternator. So those are the two things that I didn't replace when I rebuilt this 98 Eclipse engine, which a lot of you out there will be saying like, why are you not replacing all those new? You already replaced a new engine, but guys, I'm trying to save money. Okay, I didn't really replace like the transmission either, so that saves some money. And it could be my flywheels going out, but I hope not because the flywheel and the clutch is new. It could be my transmission is going out too. Don't know at this point. Okay, it could be because transmission is an old transmission. Um, but it could be the alternator is old or the starter is old. But at this point, I think we have to go with something closest. So if worse and worse, I have to look into the starter before I change the alternator because without the starter, the car is not going to work or crank or whatever. After it cranks, when it cranks, then then the alternator gonna work. You guys know how it works if you're a mechanic or know about engine. So I don't have to go through too much detail into that with you guys. But another thing about this car won't start because when I rebuilt my engine, I I kind of in a hurry. I didn't clean the throttle body, and I didn't tell the mechanic to do anything with the throttle body, cleaning it or like around the EGR. I think I did clean the EGR and all that. So like all this right here is pretty much clean, and I have new gasket on the EGR right there and all that. So I don't think it probably clogged up by now because the hoses, the EGR hose, the metal hose, and the throttle body is probably like really clogged up right now. Especially I didn't even clean the throttle body, and I didn't really. I was thinking about cleaning it after I rebuilt it, but like I drove this car like over 6 months or so, and I never had the time, the chance to clean the throttle body and the, you know, and you know what? I bought this right here. It's called M Soil Performance Improver. This is the PI gasoline addicted. This this is to improve the gasoline. So you put like a half of this bottle into the gas tank, fill it up, just like every other fuel cleaner. And I bought it from Amsoil with like $10 or more, and I didn't even have the time to use it. if I use it, it might cleans out my injection and my throttle body and EGR whatsoever, by now. So since I didn't do it, I didn't have the time to do it. That's probably why it's clogged up. And I've been driving for the past month until this summer, and I think that might be the reason why it's clogged up and it's not starting up. And when it's clogged up, you know the fuse and the oil, you know because the EGR and the throttle is all about fuel. Okay, so if it's clogged up, it's all gooey and junky inside of there. It's like black carbon, so it's just pretty much not going to start up my engine, and that's probably why I probably need to clean it up, take out the EGR, and change the gasket and clean the throttle body real good with the cleaner. Spray it in and clean it. I was thinking about doing cleaning it with a different ways, like having a hose and suction, sucks it, or um, using the suction to vacuum it, things like that. But I've just doing some research to do that, but I just didn't have the chance, the time to do it yet. But that could be a problem. Okay, so and then I'll show you guys why I am having the car all jacked up in the back here. Now um, today earlier, like I say, I need I need some more gas in my car, so I went to buy me like a 10-gallon of gas. So I use these 5 gallons of water bottle. Make sure it's all clean. You can use this for emergency purpose. So use a clean 5-gallon bottle and fill with fuel. If you ever need some fuel to put in your car or whatever, that's what I do. This is 2 5 gallons, so this is like 10 gallons of gas right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use whatever techniques the cheapest first. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna have to use let me cut a video right here, and I'm gonna continue with the next video once I gather everything together. Okay.